What's up guys, it's Messed Up Swede. Right now I'm checking out the UK drill plug video. This one is the deadly divide in northwest London, HRB versus SSK. I think I've already watched a video about this beef, I guess. But yeah man, let's see what this one's saying anyway. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. We're on the way to 2k subs. Let's go.
Look in. West London seems like a rich and affluent part of London. However, what a lot of people don't know is that it has some of the most deprived blocks, with a high crime rate and notable...
Yeah, West London seems crazy, man. Because obviously, I don't know if you really count northwest to west, but West London anyway, like where Digga and them are from, it seems like, I think there's like rich neighborhoods really close to their area. At least if I got it right.
gang presence. A popular rapper from Ladbroke Grove in West London named AJ Tracy stated that there are roads with rich houses and wealthy people on one side, and the other side of the road having poverty-stricken blocks with people...
Yeah, that's what I thought.
People that can barely afford to get by. West London has also played a big part in the popularization of modern-day drill music, with countless UK rappers coming from blocks out of West London, like Central C, Digga D, Fredo, and AJ
Yeah, exactly.
Tracy, with Digga D and AJ Tracy even coming from the same block, that being Ladbroke Grove. However, this video isn't based on Ladbroke Grove, but instead the neighboring war between two gangs, those being South Kilburn and HRB. South Kilburn is a large street gang based on the South Kilburn estate within the NW6 postcode. The South Kilburn gang goes back to the 1990s, with them previously being called the South Kilburn Mandem. In recent years, the South Kilburn gang has become more of a singular gang, instead of many different cliques in the local areas. South Kilburn's block has been going through a big redevelopment in recent years, with the old estate being demolished and being rebuilt, similarly to the Agar Grove block, which has seen a redevelopment in recent years, with new modern buildings being constructed in the...
Okay. I mean... I guess it becomes more expensive to live there then as well, so I don't know. I guess it means they're pushing out the people that used to live there.
Area. Only roads away from South Kilburn's block is another large street gang, this being popular drill group HRB.
Okay, so that's how close it is. It always, when I see maps like this, it looks so damn close, man. It looks like a 5-minute walk. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably a lot bigger than it looks on a map as well.
HRB is based on the Mozart estate, in specific Harrow Road, hence the name Harrow Road Boys. The gang is situated between the W9 and W10 postcodes. The HRB gang is also often referred to as Mozart, due to the estate the gang reps being situated on the Mozart estate. Mozart was dubbed Crack City by the media in the mid-1990s, due to the high amount of crack cocaine users being present in the estate. The large amount of drug users would as usual result in a large amount of drug dealing in the area and surrounding areas. Due to this, the two gangs would start to have issues with each other over either drugs or money. This would result in South Kilburn and Mozart starting to actively beef. Now, London does not have Bloods or Crips like America does. However, HRB heavily flagged the color red along with their allies, like Active Gang, 12 Anti, and Up Top 6.
Okay, so 12 Anti are linked with HRB. I didn't know that.
Flagged the color red along with their allies, like Active Gang, 12 Anti, and Up Top 6, with it
Up Top 6. I don't know where that is, but
being present in every music video they make, and South Kilburn flagged the color blue, which is also present in their music videos. Due to the flagging of blue and red, it started to look like West London was one big Crips versus Bloods.
Oh damn, is that really how it is? Like with blocks being like... Yeah, damn, this looks crazy, man.
Gang war. During the mid-2000s, HRB members would start rapping and dissing South Kilburn on songs, with South Kilburn replying in response tracks, with a South Kilburn member named Tribes making a song called Rebellion Diss, where he exposed many HRB members for snitching.
Is that the same Tribes that's... I think I've heard of a young Tribes that's part of like ER with CBs and them. But that might not be the same though.
And dissed a HRB member in specific named Rebellion. He would expose tit-for-tat incidents in the streets within this song. During the 2010s, tit-for-tat incidents between South Kilburn and HRB would occur. On the 29th of September 2011, there was a party on the Mozart estate with some HRB members in attendance. South Kilburn members would be on the lurk for any ops. Whilst being armed and dangerous, the South Kilburn members would arrive and see a group of girls talking to a group of boys. The South Kilburn member would then shout, "Motherfuck," before shooting off one shotgun bullet into the crowd. An 18-year-old girl was hit whilst holding her 11-month-old baby. She suffered injuries to her face, chest, and neck. Luckily, the baby would not be harmed in any way, and the girl would make a recovery. The girl and her baby were not the intended target, but it was instead a group of boys talking to them. Only months later, on the 21st of December 2011, a 21-year-old man was shot twice on the Mozart estate. As a result of a drive-by shooting, the 21-year-old man was standing with a group of boys before being shot in the chest and abdomen. He would be rushed to hospital and would make a fast recovery. 3 months after this shooting, on the 11th of April 2012, a HRB member named Hersey was in Queen's Park on the Mozart estate when a car would pull up. A South Kilburn member would exit the car and walk towards Hersey. By the time Hersey noticed the assailant, the South Kilburn member would shoot once at Hersey. Hersey was hit once in the chest at point-blank range. He was rushed to hospital and nearly died, however he made a steady recovery. Hersey would even be
So far, no one's been killed, at least. That's good.
banned from London around a year later in 2013 and would eventually be deported. A lot of South Kilburn members would go to jail around 2014 and 2015. Members would also start changing their lives around, which meant that the South Kilburn gang consisted of a new younger generation. They would start referring to themselves as SSK, which stood for Southside Killy. Like SSK, Mozart would also have a new younger generation of members who would start putting in work in the streets. The younger generation of Mozart would be Fredo, Lil Dots, and Wu.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you would count Fredo and Lil Dots as the same generation, though, because my guess would be that Lil Dots is like 10 years younger. Something like that, at least. But yeah, I guess.
Fredo would be one of the most popular rappers from HRB, dropping the UK drill banger They Ain't 100 in March 2016. This song currently sits on 35 million views.
I don't know if I would call that UK drill, but...
On the 27th of May 2017, Mohana Abdo was chilling with South Kilburn members near a children's playground. Allegedly, she was a setup girl for South Kilburn, but this hasn't been confirmed. Anyways, 2 HRB members would be looking to catch some ops. They would pedal bike onto Sherland Mews within South Kilburn and would spot a group of South Kilburn members. They would approach them and would shoot multiple shots into the group, with all of the boys running and not being hit. However, a stray bullet would ricochet off a wall and hit Mohana Abdo in the chest. Sadly, she would be pronounced dead as a
RIP, man.
result of the bullet wound. Originally, the HRB members would be arrested, however they would not be charged, due to there being a lack of evidence. It's obvious Mohana Abdo was not the intended target, however her alleged affiliation with the South Kilburn gang resulted in her sad death. Rest in peace, Mohana Abdo. Shootings and stabbings would carry on playing out in the streets, however a lot of these incidents wouldn't be shown in the news, but instead, they would be referenced in songs. A couple streets away, Digga D was also making noise in the streets with his group 1011. 1011 and HRB have also had a rivalry for years, with it getting heated recently. Digga D dissed Fredo and Ratlin, who was another prominent HRB member, a lot in 2017.
Scored in the box, same way Broski scored on Fredo. Word, I'll kill him, bro. Can't run here, no spring chicken. Cause they can run, bro. Who am I kidding? Screaming water.
However, Fredo didn't really diss Digga D back on songs, as he most likely wanted to get himself out of the streets. In 2019, a SSK member named J1 and a few other Southside Killy members would be walking together on their block in South Kilburn. HRB members would get the drop and pull up with guns. In broad daylight, the HRB members would pull up and start shooting at J1 and the other SSK members. This was recorded by terrified members of the public. The video is quite disturbing.
I mean, are you that terrified if you're standing there filming? I don't know.
Other SSK members. This was recorded by terrified members of the public. The video is quite disturbing and would resurface on the UK Drill subreddit. Luckily, no one was injured in this incident, with everyone being fine. A few months later, another act of violence would play out in the streets. On the 3rd of December 2019, members of South Kilburn were walking through the streets in Kensal Green. An unknown GM would approach the members on a bike. The GM would let off shots towards the group. One of the members was hit and sustained critical injuries. He would be rushed to hospital and would be treated and let out of hospital days later, luckily with no life-changing injuries. It's unknown if this GM was a part of HRB or a different gang that beefs South Kilburn. South Kilburn have a lot of ops, with the most notable ones being Active Gang, North Kilburn, Kensal Green, and Warwick.
Okay, so Warwick is HRB as well. North Kilburn, Kensal Green. Yeah, I don't know a lot about these areas though.
On the 15th of July 2020, an 18-year-old named Ahmed Yassin Ali, or better referred to as Arms, was walking on Elmfield Way, West London at 12:30 a.m. Two members of an opposition gang, presumably LG8, pulled up in a
I have no idea what gang that is either.
navy blue car. The two attackers jumped out of the car and would attack Arms. He would be stabbed and would try to plead with the attackers saying, "No, don't do this." However, sadly, Arms would be pronounced dead only minutes later, with the attacker
R.I.P. man.
getting in the car and speeding off. Arms was allegedly affiliated with HRB, repping a set named Warwick, which has been closely allied with HRB. A witness to the incident said they heard a lot of noise, and then one of them, it must have been the boy, was shouting, "No, no, no, don't do this," with no one being arrested or charged for the murder up until this day. Rest in peace, Arms. One HRB member would not be happy about this incident. His name was Billy the Kid. The day after the murder of Arms, he would be planning to ride out on LG8, as they were allegedly responsible for Arms' death. They would use a stolen vehicle from days before and ride onto their op block. There were 4 people in the car, including Billy the Kid. They would spot a group of rivals standing together and would shoot towards them. All of the bullets they shot into the crowd missed, with the crowd starting to fire back. Sadly, Billy the Kid was hit by 2 of the bullets being fired back. The other members of HRB would leave Billy pretty much for dead. In a shocking twist of events, the people that actually killed Billy weren't sentenced, but instead Billy's friends were sentenced and were charged for his murder. As the judge
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that. That's crazy though. Imagine being sentenced for your own friend's death. That's crazy.
Billy weren't sentenced, but instead Billy's friends were sentenced and were charged for his murder. As the judge argued, if they didn't shoot into the crowd, Billy would have still been alive. They were given at least 29
I mean, that sounds crazy to sentence someone for that though. But yeah, I guess so.
years in prison, with the people that actually shot Billy still being free. Due to this special case of violence, a new law was passed in relation to the murder of Billy. Rest in peace, Billy the Kid. HRB would be looking for retaliation for the murder of Billy the Kid and would look for any chance to kill another rival. Under a month later in August 2020, a Southside Kilburn member named Gucci was standing outside of his house at 12:40 a.m. when 2 masked men would pull up and start shooting at Gucci. Gucci would attempt to run into his house, but was gunned down and shot multiple times. He would sadly be pronounced dead only
R.I.P. once again, man.
minutes later outside of his home. Both of the men were arrested days later, but were not charged as there was insufficient evidence to place them at the crime. The alleged attackers were members from HRB and Active Gang. Active Gang is a set based in Camden. They have had major beef with 51st for years, but are allied with HRB, as we have seen Lil Dots and Broad Day blow up in the drill scene. There have been many theories surrounding the death of Gucci, with people on the UK drill subreddit even claiming Fredo used his rap money to pay for a hit on Gucci. However, this has little to no evidence, and is most likely just a rumor. Only weeks later, a direct diss song would drop. This had rapper Lil Dots and Broad Day on a song called Roll Up. This song was riddled with many disses towards Gucci. Gucci is also
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought all the Active Gang disses were towards 51st and that, to be honest.
mentioned on a lot of CGM songs, as the two sets, those being SSK and CGM, are allied. Rest in peace, Gucci. Members of Active Gang and HRB would get close during this time. Their alliance would get stronger when Suspect, who was Active Gang's biggest rapper, featured on a song with Fredo, who was HRB's most popular rapper. This song would rake in millions of streams and views, and even chart top 73 on the official charts, with this being Suspect's first charting song. On the 19th of July 2022, a HRB member named Wu and other HRB members would be chilling in Queen's Park in South Kilburn. A gunman would spot the group and approach the group. The gunman would then let off shots. Wu would sadly be hit in the chest, with a bullet hitting his heart. Wu would be rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead moments later.
R.I.P. man.
Whilst it's not known who killed Wu, it's largely speculated that it was either SSK or CGM as a retaliation for Gucci. CGM have spoke on the murder a lot and have hinted towards claiming the murder of Wu. But either way, the murder has gone unsolved up until this day. Lil Dots, who was a big HRB rapper, would be grieving the loss of Wu, especially due to Wu being Lil Dots' older brother. This meant both of Lil Dots' brothers have passed away, as Lil Dots' other brother, G Dots, was killed in a police chase in December 2012. R.I.P.
RIP to both of them, man.
IP, G-Dots, and Wu. HRB members were looking for a retaliation on South Kilburn and CGM after the passing of Wu, and in the early hours of Sunday the 4th of September 2022, they would find their retaliation. M. Low was a legendary rapper from the West London collective ER. M. Low had UK drill bangers with hundreds of thousands of views. He was affiliated with SSK, which made him a target for rival gangs looking for retaliation. Just after 2 a.m. on Sunday the 4th of September, masked men would pull up to a block of flats on Kensington High Street. They would see M. Low and shoot him multiple times. Police would be called to the scene, but sadly, M. Low would be pronounced dead on the scene.
RIP once again, man. Damn, it's a lot of dead people, man.
Although M. Low didn't have anything to do with the murder of Wu, he would still be sought out as a rival due to his affiliation with South Kilburn. A 29-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of murder, but was released due to lack of evidence, with this murder going unsolved, leaving behind a grieving family. Rest in peace, M. Low. Whilst the gang beef between these two sets has been less active in recent months, members are still dissing each other in songs, with tit-for-tat incidents playing out in the streets. If you have gathered anything from this video, it should be that this road life is not worth it. These are all young men that probably share a lot in common, but get caught up fighting over territories that they do not own. Everyone that has died in this story has left behind families that grieve the loss of their sons, cousins, brothers, or dads. If you or someone you know is falling into the road lifestyle, try and talk to people or help your friends escape it. Rest in peace, everyone in this video.
Yeah, man, that's true. As you see in most of these videos, it's gonna end with death or jail. Now in this video though, I feel like there was a lot of unsolved murders, man. But I mean, usually you see a lot of guys getting sentenced and that, but this time there was a lot of unsolved ones. So yeah, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.